Hey everyone, this is David Brown, and with the spring 2025 hawk migration season rapidly approaching, I'm sure some of you are wondering what I'll be up to this spring, and the answer is I'll be the hawk counter at the Derby Hill Bird Observatory. If we take a look at a map, I'm currently down here at my home in north central Pennsylvania, but if we go up to New York State, up near Lake Ontario, we want to specifically look for Oswego. And if we zoom in and we go a little bit farther east from Oswego, we will be able to see Derby Hill, which is near the town of Mexico. So Mexico, New York is the mailing address. And here we can see it. If we zoom in right on the lake shore, we can see the property of Derby Hill. There's a nice view out over the lake. The main count is done from this general area. And then there's also a south lookout that's a little farther back this road. So there's two different sites, kind of like it was at Braddock Bay as well, where depending on the winds, you'll be at one site or the other, depending on which is more favorable for seeing the migrating raptors. And speaking of Braddock Bay, if you're wondering where the two sites are in relation to each other, Braddock Bay is northwest of Rochester, and if you measure the distance between them in a straight line, it's about 76 miles. So the birds that are going through Braddock Bay, they're going to follow the lake shore and then eventually also go by Derby Hill, hopefully. So Derby Hill tends to get higher numbers of many raptors just because they get everything that's passing through Braddock, plus anything that picks up the lake shore after it. To drive between the two sites, Google Maps estimates about a 2-hour drive. And if we look at the way that the two sites are positioned, here's Braddock Bay, and Braddock Bay really wants a good southwest wind to bring all the hawks up to the lakeshore. If you were to get a southeast wind, that's almost a direct headwind for the birds as they're cutting southeast here along this stretch of the lakeshore. Taking a look at Derby Hill, we see that it's positioned at the southeast corner of the lake, so southerly winds or even southeasterly winds are favorable for concentrating the migrating raptors along the lakeshore. The count at Derby Hill is run in March, April, and May, just the same as Braddock Bay. And if we take a look at March of 2024 to look at the numbers, over 12,000 migrating raptors for March 2024, including 57 golden eagles, 22 rough-legged hawks, over 800 red tails, and over 10,000 turkey vultures. If we look at the season totals for the past several years, we see 69,000, 51,000, 81,000, even as high as almost 102,000 migrating raptors at Derby Hill. So just as many migrating raptors at Derby as we get at Braddock, and maybe even a little bit more. I know a lot of you may be curious why I decided to switch to Derby Hill instead of doing Braddock Bay again, especially since Derby Hill and Braddock Bay are sort of considered rivals, so I guess this switch could be considered a little bit controversial. But the basic answer is that the counter that worked at Derby Hill the past several years decided not to return, so there was an opening, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to be doing seasonal hawkwatching jobs, so it seemed like this might be my one shot at a chance at doing Derby Hill. And I've done Braddock Bay for 6 years, and so I've really enjoyed my time there, and I really like the people there. Never had a bad experience, just such an amazing migration site, and I could have very easily gone back to Braddock Bay and had another amazing season, but I just felt like it was time to switch to something new. It kind of felt like been there, done that, and I'm excited to start at a new site, different organization, different people, different visitors, getting to understand the weather pattern at a different site. It's a place that I can really focus on birding this one site and build up my list, and just really looking forward to my spring coming up at Derby Hill. For this spring, Braddock Bay has hired a counter named Maylee, so I hope all of you can go out and visit her and make her feel welcome. Now, finally, the big question that I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, am I going to be making YouTube videos this spring? And the answer is yes, I plan to make YouTube videos, but the only problem is the internet situation isn't ideal, and I'm going to have to upload the videos by tethering my laptop through my iPhone. So it's going to depend on how well that works out. If the signal's strong enough and it's fast enough that I can record my usual videos and upload them, then that's what I'm going to plan to do. But until I get up there and sort of see what the exact signal strength is and how fast I'm able to upload things, I won't really know. So I'm going to go in with the plan of making videos, but I may end up having to scale back maybe to one video every couple days or once a week. It's just going to depend on the internet. The Derby Hill Hawkwatch starts on March 1st, which is this coming Saturday, and runs daily through the end of May. So I hope you're able to come out and visit at some point during the season, or if you're not, I hope you're able to follow along virtually through my YouTube videos. From Lyco Birds, this is David Brown. Thanks for watching.